What do you think of when you think of the term language? My guess is that your immediate definition would mention that it's a vehicle for communication. But if I press you further, for example, what language is made of, you would probably cite the building blocks that linguistic analysis has given us. Syntax, semantics, morphology, phonology, and so on. The fact that when we think of language, we think of linguistics probably comes from our undergraduate training. Linguistics, and especially structural linguistics, is to blame for the way we look at language, or to be more precise, the way we have looked at language until a couple of decades ago. And that's because language is a lot more than what a linguistic analysis can provide. We have seen in another video that the importance of language use, as opposed to structural linguistic analysis, was underlined by Delheims in the 1970s. Language use is really interesting because it's that use in all its glory of the different contexts that we use language that celebrates the enormous creativity that is hidden in our capacity for languaging and trans-languaging. When we use language, we project many things. One of the things we project is our culture, and this is exactly what the term languaculture focuses on. The many intricate interactions between language and culture as evidenced in communication between different people. But what do we mean by culture? The term culture has different meanings depending on how you look at it. There is culture with a capital C, which refers to a more traditional, simplistic or reductionistic way of understanding the world, and is based on bringing to the fore, in a stereotypical way, ethnic, national or international difference. For example, this is how the Germans do this, or that's how the Greeks do that, and so on. And then there's culture with a small c. And this refers to a more fluid and flexible process that looks at communication as a negotiation between individuals that aim at compromising their own expectations with the expectations of people from other cultural backgrounds. The term languaculture was introduced by linguistic anthropologist Michael Agar in 1994 as a means of understanding how our own use of language draws not only from grammar and vocabulary, but also from our past knowledge and experiences, and from cultural information such as habits and specific behaviors. Therefore, as Agar says, we enter a specific communication with our very own languacultural background, which he calls LC1 or source, which is shaped by all these experiences, and we are prompted to engage in a negotiation with our interlocutor's target languaculture, or LC2. How does this negotiation succeed? By observing the other person's languaculture and taking into consideration all the smaller or larger surprises that we experience during our interaction. These surprises inform our own expectations and signal very specific differences between the two languacultures. Agar calls these surprises, mannerisms, gestures and so on, rich points. And our job is to notice them and learn from them. You can imagine many different episodes where two or more languacultures meet. For example, when we go to a new city or to a new country, every time we engage in interactions, in airports, cafeterias, dinner parties, we have to use our cognitive, metacognitive, social and affective strategies to observe such rich points in order to understand others and shape our own communicative discourse to become understood by others. This is the case when we travel abroad, when we move to a new place, for example, as undergraduate or postgraduate students at the university in another country. This is also the case when we chat online, write emails or send SMS messages to other people. We need to translate, as Agar says, our own source languaculture to that of the recipients of these messages. In essence, everything we do and everything we say involves a process of translation or negotiation of language cultures. We, as language teachers, need to understand the importance of language culture and integrate this awareness in our teaching. We can do it today by integrating in our lessons a concern for noticing various reach points in interactions. As always, I look forward to communicating with you. Bye for now.